gonna wait for everybody to filter in. Give it about 5 or 10 minutes. Well, here we are. How the fuck did we get here today? And how the fuck are we gonna make it through this shit? I really don't even know. So, I guess I'm just gonna sit here and bitch about Elon Musk and why the fuck I'm mad at Elon Musk because I don't really know. I don't really have it much for anything else today. I had a couple of articles on the burner, but at its end, I really didn't rush out to publish them because it was just so exhausting of a day. Um, so I guess we get to talk through what Elon Musk is doing and how Elon Musk is going to continue to screw everyone over. Because that's what's coming next. Um, so the legal foundation of Musk's authority is really about as solid as a house of cards sitting in a fucking hurricane. Um, I mean, he treats federal regulations like they're useless, um, and that they're a guidance. They're not actually a law. Um, and all because he believes that if he does that, he's making things better for everyone. And it's bullshit. Um, you know, I just look at the Cybertruck. The Cybertruck is a complete and total disaster. Um, that vehicle has actually killed people, and that vehicle has maimed people. And if you go through my article stance, you'll find an article I wrote about how the Cybertruck has killed more people and injured more people than the Ford Pinto. Now, those of us who are old enough to remember the Ford Pinto will remember what a disaster it was. Um, insofar as if you had a rear end collision in a Ford Pinto, um, it would cause the Ford Pinto to turn into a Molotov cocktail on fire with wheels. Um, so I, when I wrote the opinion piece about Musk, I mean, I didn't even really know where to begin. Of course, the reality of it is, um, I'll probably be continuing to write shit about Musk, and um, you know, oh, good one, Wendy Parker. Wendy Parker, I'm glad that you are still with us. if you owned a Ford Pinto. So lawsuits. Musk's business history reads like a soap opera written by a chaos demon who's fucking Steve Ballmer because Ballmer threw a chair at him. And for those that don't know, Steve Ballmer was infamously had an infamous reputation for picking chairs up and throwing them in the very early days of his CEO helming ship of Helmship, 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 Helmship of Microsoft. Um, Tesla's been sued more times than I can count, and as far as I'm aware, there are 3 class action lawsuits against Tesla over the Cybertruck because of the irreparable amount of harm that has happened with respect to it. SpaceX has raised more red flags than a Soviet parade celebrating Stalin. And then the countless litigation over Twitter, which, by the way, I want to again point out that Twitter has turned into such a far right shithole that um, all of that leads me to believe that Musk's ability to engage in crisis management is basically him just posting shitty memes and then bitching about shit on Twitter. Which, if you read my opinion piece today, you will note that that pretty much was what I did. I used images from his direct to Twitter feed. So that shows you what a childish 15-year-old piece of shit he is. But here, this is the thing. Like I said, if you haven't read the piece yet, this is the thing that'll keep you up at night. So while Musk is fucking around with the Treasury Department and the IRS, he's about to get access to the IRS, which means he'll have access to all taxpayer information. He has Tesla factories in China that are actually making a Tesla product. And Musk is in support of tariffing China, yet Musk himself is making money in China for product that is being shipped into the US and therefore is being tariffed at a higher rate, which is causing Tesla consumers to pay more money. How is this not a double-blind scam for Musk to make more fucking money? I mean, I really just don't see. I don't see how that's not possible. So it's just a billionaire then with massive Chinese business ties who get access to federal systems. What could go wrong? I mean, somebody tell me. If Musk has access to all taxpayer information, and Musk has a cozy relationship with China, and Musk has a cozy relationship with India, that was the other thing. After the administration meeting with India's Modi, Musk went into a closed door meeting with Modi, and I guess the speculation is that Trump asked him, "Why are you having a meeting with him?" And Musk basically told him, "That's none of your business. Don't worry about it. It's nothing." So Musk is a real problem, and I think Elon Musk is at the core of the real problem. And I think if Musk were not involved in this situation would not be near as bad as it is. But it is that bad, and it is getting worse. And unless the government does something to stand up to him. Ultimately, they stand up to Donald. Uh, Donnie convict shits his pants. Um, then I think that we're gonna. It's just gonna get worse. Um, I mean, I personally, as a trans person, have a legitimate fear that 6 months, 8 months, a year from now, they're gonna come knocking on my door, and they're gonna tell me I have to go to a concentration camp, um, because I represent evil ideology that they don't want in their country. And I never thought the U.S. would get to this point. I really don't, um, and it's very sad. But on the brighter side, um, there are a large number of resisting organizations that have sprung up uh, as all of this has continued on. So here in the next 3 or 4 days, I have another article published where I'm literally going to chronicle um, every one of the resistance orgs. I've collected about 30 or 40 of them, but apparently in total there are now a couple of hundred um, that are actively resisting the administration and actively resisting Musk. I mean, outside of all of the AGs that are, uh, suing the administration, suing Donald Trump, um, and suing everybody else. And so there's multiple lawsuits flying around against them. Um, and for those of us who are down in the weeds, um, you know, we're here doing all of the things that we're doing. I'm sitting in front of this computer and I'm talking to you to tell you that we're actively resisting. The problem is, I don't know when the rubber is going to meet the road. At what point are we going to converge over when enough has happened? And if enough has happened, what is someone going to do? Because too much has happened. Yeah, I agree, Amber. When the U.S. president has more people, I think that was the reason why Trump quoted um, Napoleon when he said, basically, um, he who saves his country violates no laws. Um, when that happened, I was sort of like, um, yeah, Wendy, I appreciate that. As another Wendy, I want to tell you, Wendy Parker, that I appreciate that because, yeah, I can't go back. Um, Me personally, I have come too far in my personal journey to ever go back to the way it was. Um, I mean, with so much as my so much as my gender transition, as with everything else that I've done in my life, I just can't. I can't do it. Um, I have 3 kids, and um, you know, my kids are all queer identifying kids, and I want them to grow up in a world where they can be who they want to be. And it's very hard for me to understand why we would ever go back to this, or why that would ever become a thing, or anything else. Um, so I don't even know. I mean, I just don't. Wendy Parker, are you ready for me to pick on you yet? Because you know I pick on everybody every time I go live. I haven't bugged you yet, I don't think. So, yeah, we're just in this big fucking mess. And so I want to know what everybody else thinks we should do. So the first question I have is, do you think I'm doing enough? And if I'm not doing enough, what can I do more of to help this situation along? Yeah, I know. It's just hard. It's just really, really, really fucking hard. Oh, and there's Rosie. Rosie's back. I'm not gonna pick on you today, Rosie. Well, not unless you want me to. Um, not unless you want me to. Um, by the way, did anybody read the meditation today? I have a reason that I'm asking. Um, all right, Rosie. Because I've already bugged you once, I won't do it again unless somebody else throws up and says no. Um, but you know, if I do that, Rosie, you have to advertise for yourself um, while we're doing it. So, oh, the day's eve. The day's eve, sunny with a chance of badass. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Um, so, um, so I don't know if everybody saw this or not, but yesterday I published an article about Curtis Yarvin and what an epically huge piece of shit Curtis Yarvin is. Um, and if you don't know who he is, you should know who he is. Um, I hate to say this, but if there's anybody that's read those horrible LaHaye Left Behind novels, um, I've read them, unfortunately. Um, yeah, he's yeah he's the guy that I suspect is most likely to turn into the Nicolay Carpathia character from uh, those LaHaye novels. Um, so you know, it's sort of like, well, shit. You know, how much worse can it get? Um, you know, I don't know I don't know um, how bad um, it how bad it's gonna get for all of us. Um, you know, it's like I don't even fucking know. Oh, there's Jackie Johnson. Yay. Right. So let's go down the Yarvin road. So um, Yarvin was a Silicon Valley programmer. Um, so before he turned into the neoconservative, super fucked up individual that he is today, he was just another coder. He dropped out of Johns Hopkins um, and went into technology. And he worked for a startup, and the startup was a complete and total failure, like everything else in Yarvin's life. Um, but he went completely batshit crazy when in the the very midpoint of the 2000s, he stood up a blog called Unqualified Reservations. And writing under a pseudonym because he wasn't brave enough to use his own fucking name, um, he um, began pumping out endless drivel about how democracy has destroyed the U.S. and how post-capitalism is ruining everything, and that basically everything in the Enlightenment that the Enlightenment stood for was bullshit. And so his writing style was deliberately obscure, mixing references of obscure historical events with programming metaphors in a way that made simple ideas seem totally fucking, yeah, right, Mencius mold bug, which I don't know. To me, that's like somebody that's trying to be like edgelordy or whatever, but fuck that. Um, so here's the core of Yarvin's belief system. So according to Yarvin, democracy is nothing more than progressive atheist theocracy, which is run by a priesthood, according to him, of bureaucrats, academics, and journalists. Um, he he has repeatedly argued that the real power lies not in the voters, but with what he calls the cathedral. And the cathedral is a distributed network of elite institutions that control the country. So it sounds very Illuminati like, which is bullshit. And so his solution to this problem, what he says is the way to solve this problem, is absolute monarchy. Um, he advocates for what he calls neo-cameralism, which is just an absolute monarchy dressed up with a bunch of technical bullshit wrapped around it. So, uh, so that makes Yarvin, yes, exactly, Amber. It'd be like a shadow government. There's a figurehead, and then there's the wizard, and then there's the who's behind the curtain, operating the wizard. Um, so Yarvin wants to turn nations into corporations with CEO monarchs that have absolute power over all of their shareholders, which are basically just citizens. And what makes I love this phrase. What makes this theoretical masturbation um, dangerous is the influence that it has on political figures like Donnie Convict and Muskrat. Um, Yarvin has been in direct communication with Trump, um, and it has been purported that he has been an unofficial advisor to Trump on and off over the years. Um, you know, and so like when Trump said, we're going to take back our country from these thugs and criminals who stole it, the deep state, the fake news media, um, um, they're all part of it. We're going to drain the swamp. But we know the truth, don't we? That kind of talk is very Curtis Yarvin like. And saying that echoes Yarvin's cathedral concept in a much broader sense of terms. So here's the reason why it's dangerous. Yarvin's background in programming actually gives him credibility to tech bros. There are tech bros that think that he is an accomplished programmer. I've never seen any of his code, but I've been a coder for 32 years. I guarantee you, if I saw it, I probably would call it fucking junk, um, just based on what I've heard about him. But the problem is that Yarvin is in a space where burgeoning right wing um, burgeoning right wing or right wing influenceable um, people uh, fall victim to that kind of rhetoric, and then they fall in line with it, and so it creates this alt-right pipeline uh, that becomes a gateway drug for people that want to listen to it, and then it causes them to escalate further. That's what basically turns people into uh, penis Thiel. I won't say Peter Thiel. I call him penis Thiel, and there's a couple of different reasons why I say that about him. But Thiel is a very scary individual. Like, I don't know if people know this, but he has a bunker down in New Zealand where he thinks that eventually the race wars are going to happen. And when that happens, he'll have a bunker he can retreat to while the world kills itself so that he can come out of it and be the king of the world. When that's Peter Thiel is not an individual people should admire, believe in, or otherwise trust in any way. So, but the danger of Yarvin's influence um, directly intercedes um, as a direct threat. He clearly threatens constitutional democracy. By promoting the idea that democracy is inherently flawed and needs to be replaced with autocratic rule, Yarvin provides intellectual cover for attacks on democratic institutions. And so he gives credibility to um, the attack and the ultimate dissemination of democratic institutions. Um, and then, two, as a result of that, Yarvin threatens civil rights. Ooh, ooh. I have Panda Express again tonight for dinner. Yay. Um, so Yarvin threatens, um, physically threatens, um, uh, physically threatens um, um, civil rights. If Yarvin threatens constitutional democracy, he's very clearly going to threaten civil rights. So, how do we combat Yarvin's influence? It requires us to understand and expose his ideas for what they are. Elaborate justifications for implicit authoritarianism. Um, um, Many people argue that the best defense against neo reactionary thought is to strengthen democratic institutions and education, um, not to just dismiss these ideas as a fringe philosophy, not just dismiss them as fringe philosophy, but actively educate people against them. So Yarvin represents something that is uniquely dangerous to American political discourse. Um, he's an intellectual veneer for authoritarian impulses that gain traction because people believe in it. His relationship with Trump and other right wing leaders isn't just troubling, it's a 5 alarm fuck fire. Um, the solution isn't to ignore him or dismiss him as a crank, because that's just going to empower the elements of the right and the far right to continue to believe in him. Um, the answer is to understand him, expose him, and fight back with better ideas um, in the sunlight. Um, People like Yarvin don't move out in the sunlight. They hide in the shadows because the body populace, the larger body of the population, would never embrace the reactionary ideas that he's talking about. And so Yarvin's medieval fantasy kingdom just needs sunlight so that people will understand how, one, fucked up he is, two, how crazy he is, and then three, how he's going to fuck everybody up if he continues to go down that road. And we're all going to get hurt because of it. So, um, anybody have questions, comments? I saw Rosa, Jeannie, and Prudence all come in. I should pick on one of you because you're new to the live. And I always pick on somebody at least once. um, at least once uh, before I go to Rosie. Uh, Despite the fact that I love Rosie very much. So, um, uh, okay, somebody's going to get picked on now. We're going to try Jeannie first. Oh, okay, Rosa, here we go. I'll pick on you. I don't normally have people that ask. uh, oh, that's sad. Really? Now I'm going to pick on Prudence. There's Drawn Chatter. If Dear Prudence doesn't go for it, then we'll talk to Drawn Chatter. Drawn Chatter and I have been chatting on and off before, a few times over. All right, Drawn, you're next. I'm just gonna go down the list. I'm not gonna badmouth Rosie until we get to the bottom. Not gonna badmouth Rosie, because I've already picked on Rosie once before. So there's a reason for that. Okay. Now we're gonna move down one. Oh, Drawn, I'm sorry. If we can't get Days to comment, then I'll go back to you. This is Atlanta. Yeah, there's some protesting going on. Um, Especially, we were driving through Decatur earlier today, and there were a couple of groups of people. And then, like the day before yesterday, we drove past um, the DeKalb County Jail, and there was a huge protest there. pretty big one because when we go to pick up our kids, um, we drive by the DeKalb County jail, which is right here in East Atlanta. So, okay, we're not having any luck with anybody today. I have to warn everybody, I'm gonna pick on you if you come into the live. Um, um, if you come into the live, you're gonna get picked on eventually. Um, um, you're gonna get a you're gonna get I'll always get somebody at least once, twice if you provide good conversation, which isn't hard because I don't know how the fuck to converse at all. I just know how to cuss and bitch and moan a lot. I don't moan near enough though. Yeah, I know that's really bad, right? I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way. Wait, are there people old enough to remember that line? I do that a lot. I quote movie and pop culture stuff all the time. So um, you'll hear me do that again, I'm sure. Um, oh, Temple, you're awaiting family drama? Well, here. If you're gonna do that, at least you get to say hi. Uh, yeah, Rosie, I wanted to be Jessica Rabbit once in my life. Um, I mean, people have told me that I have a vocal quality similar to Kathleen Turner. Of course, um, I like to talk with people. I do so much writing um, that it's very difficult for me to quantify, um, the effect that my writing is having, um, or if what I'm doing is having a positive effect on other people. And so, um, I mean, doing a live to read through the shit that I posted is one thing, but um, you know, uh, from the other perspective, um, I I go on lives because um, I need to hear what you all think about what I give to you in the form of my thoughts and feelings and writing and works or whatever, if they're having a positive effect on you. And so, um, I can publish reader surveys, but those aren't fun because, nobody wants to fill out surveys. Um, uh, Nobody likes to fill surveys out. So it's just easier to do live sessions and then talk to people. Um, well, Temple, what family drama do you have? And how best can we provide support? Oh, well, good. Yeah, I try to even things out. Oh, Macy Adi. Um, I'm gonna give Macy like 2 minutes, and then I'm gonna pick on them next. uh, Oh, what's a beautiful question? Um, um, Macy happens to be one of my most ardent. Uh, yeah, Macy happens to be one of my most ardent uh, email people. Um, I'm good, Macy. How are you? I see. I told you, Macy. Now I'm gonna pick on you. Macy consistently opens my emails. Um, uh, Drawn, a fan of FF. uh, oh, you shouldn't be shy, Macy. You shouldn't be shy at all. I was going to give you shit about being a quarter Irish, though. Oh, so FF, first felon. Um, I'm curious, from a reader perspective, what do you call Donnie Convict? Um, because my names for him kind of vary depending on, but for some reason I keep leaning into McTiny Hands and reference to his tiny wee wee syndrome when I talk about him. But I'm interested to know what other people call him. I know like Felon 47. Um, uh, yeah, so Macy, I did an entire 4 day spread about that. So basically, Hitler destroyed the Weimar Republic in 53 days from the moment that he became chancellor forward. And in one of the live sessions, we actually talked about that, Macy. Um, you know what? We should maybe go over that because I don't think a lot of people. Um, Let me go to the. Did I put that in the politics path or did I put that on the social? Probably put it on the social path. Um, this was the part three. Or did I not publish that already? I thought that I had. Um, I really thought that I had published the final part of this is why the German shit isn't going to happen to us. And there's a reason why the German shit isn't going to happen to us. Um, uh, um, yeah, um, there's a reason that, or maybe I drafted it and I didn't publish it, but I was pretty sure that I published it. Um, Let me find it real quick. There's a very clear reason why. Oh, Brittany, uh, moist. That's Rosie. You shouldn't say moist. Moist is a very bad word. I can't stand hearing people say that word. I cannot. I literally cannot stand hearing people say the word um, uh, the word moist. I don't know why, but um, I just can't. Uh, yeah, I think he probably does. I think he probably does. So we're gonna pick on Brittany now, because I've never picked on Brittany before. Rosa, I can't spell either. I, if you've ever listened to Miranda and I talk, or if you could hear Miranda and I talk, she would tell you I spell like complete shit. I can't spell worth the fuck. And so most of her editing of the stuff that I put on Thistle and Moss um, is shit that she has to fix because I can't spell worth a flip. um, yeah, I have horrible grammar. I just accept it now. I have horrible grammar. You just need to accept that now and um, understand that it's uh, you know that it's really a thing. Um, well, yeah, it really does. I think it hurts all of us drawn. Um, I mean, honestly, Macy, what's the worst? What's the worst? Now I have to bug my partner. Hey, did we get drinks? Did we get drinks? I ordered a Diet Coke. Um, so, what is my feeling about where we are at this moment and the nonsense with Musk? So, Macy, you need to read my opinion piece about Musk from today. Um, Here's what I think. I think that we are getting to a point where resistance is going to turn into enough that uh, Musk is going to experience a Marie Antoinette moment. I mean, do we all remember Marie Antoinette? Do we all remember how that turned out? Um, that's where I think things uh, for Musk are headed. Um, the, I hate to say this, but remember the 5th of November, the gunpowder treason and plot. I know of no reason that the gunpowder treason should ever be forgot. Um, I think there's I think there's very likely a V for Vendetta moment um, that is going to happen. Oh, thank you. You brought me water. Oh, okay. Yeah. My partner doesn't give a shit about me. So she brings me water. I asked for Diet Coke. She brings me water instead. And she brings me water instead. Um, oh, as a druid female, I am likened to ask, is there anybody here who's diabetic? And I have a reason that I'm asking. Um, because as a druid, I am inclined to make a comment about something randomly because everybody thinks my herbalism shit is bullshit, and so I live to to tell people. Okay, well then great. So here we go. So um, I have been engaging in herbal. I've been an herbal druid for over 25 years, and so um, as a public service announcement to people, especially if you're an Ozempic person or if you are a Zepbound person or any of those things, or if like me, you have a problem managing your sugar. Um, there is literally a way to get around it, and I'm going to share this detail with you. Um, as an herbal druid, I can pretty much eliminate 80% of the pharmaceutical that you would use to treat problems that you have. And so here's my big secret. It's actually not that big a secret, but here's my big secret. So Ceylon cinnamon. Um, right, Amber, weed. Weed, sure. So Ceylon cinnamon. Uh, Ceylon cinnamon is a natural. There's two of them actually. So there's Ceylon cinnamon, and then there's another derivative called berberine, and berberine is the derivative of the barberry berry. Um, they're both natural GLP-1 inhibitors, and literally, if you take 3 of these with food every day, it will cause your sugar not to spike. So if you experience hyperglycemia like I do because I'm a type 2 diabetic, you can literally manage your diabetes with a 4,000 milligram shot of Ceylon cinnamon 3 times a day. So, because I'm about to eat Panda Express, I take a capsule of. Oh, Macy, I'm gonna have to look at another window. Oh, okay, Macy. Good luck with your dog problems. Thank you for coming by. So yeah, I'm taking a cinnamon capsule, and that's the thing. Ceylon cinnamon, like actual legit Ceylon cinnamon versus regular over-the-counter cinnamon. So you need to get Ceylon cinnamon and berberine. You can even get them in a combo, and they will help you manage your sugar levels without having to use pharmaceuticals. Um, if you do that every day, it will eventually work you entirely off of metformin if you're a person that's on metformin. Um, it's more important for you to be on metformin um, in cases of PCOS and that kind of thing, because that's a different pharmacology. Uh, but if you're on metformin just for sugar regulation, Ceylon cinnamon, uh, 3 times a day, 4 times a day, even so inclined. That's the other thing too. Um, it doesn't fuck with your kidneys, so it won't mess your kidneys up like long-term use of metformin has as an effect. So weird druid shit that I think about when um, I think about when nobody's around. Um, oh, is Donna Siaco Giliberto on the live? Can somebody confirm that? If she is, so my Marjorie Taylor Greene dumbass redneck bitch post has, yeah, Rosa, Ceylon cinnamon and berberine introduced into your diet slowly um, can lower your A1C. It can manage and regulate your sugar levels, and at the very least, um, it can lower the overall effect and the necessity for metformin. Um, I've successfully done it. My metformin doses are down to nothing. And I've been an Ozempic user for a while, but I really don't want to continue to be an Ozempic person. I'd prefer not to, um, for a variety of reasons. So Rosa, yeah, there's a much safer way to go about it. But if you want to learn more about it, and or you want to provide me, if you want me to provide you with a pharmacology for it, just send me a message on Substack or whatever, and I'll tell you what to do and how to take it and all that, um, and you can uh, lead a healthier, less kidney fucked up life. Oh, bariatric surgery. I'm glad I avoided that, to be honest, Amber. But if you can do it and you can survive it, go for it. I ballooned up to 325 pounds, and I'm 6'6". I'm a very tall girl. I'm 6'6", but I had still ballooned up to well over 320. And then I lost 100 pounds. I mean, I just shed the pounds way down. Um, yeah, here you, the, here's my problem, Amber, is that I have a hip replacement um, that I got when I was very young, and whenever I got over like 310, the weight would cause my leg pain to go wildly crazy. And so, for many years, weight management was pain management for me. So, oh, hi, Kathy, Pesky Fink. Thank you for joining. I don't know that you've ever joined before. So, um, we were just talking about Musk. And so, yeah, I think the ultimate issue with Musk is that Musk is going to face a Marie Antoinette moment. Yeah, it's that's just I that's how I think that's going to work out. Um, I really just do. Um, but we'll see what happens, right? Um, we'll see what happens. I should point out, by the way, that we're almost up to 1,400 subs, which I never really thought I was ever going to get to 1,400 subscribers. I really didn't. Um, so, so 1,400 subs, uh, and 71 paid subscribers, which was also something that I would never have expected. But I will give everybody an update about this because people keep asking. So um, here's the update. The update is this. So um, all of the Druid Path text work. So the Druid instruction articles, the meditations, and the herbalist posts are all going to go into one book, if not two books. Um, and so monthly paid subs will get a 30% discount on the book. Oh, Rosa, yeah, Ginkgo. No, there's a whole Amber. There's a whole battery for that. So Ginkgo, Rhodiola rosé, and um, and then a regular ginseng dose. So you take the ginseng dose in the morning, you take the rhodiola rosé in the morning, and then you take the ginkgo dose at midday. And that uh, herbal mixture will kill dementia problems, it will kill mental clarity problems, and it will stop memory issues from happening. And also, rhodiola rosé and ginseng doses will regularly treat ADHD problems, which necessitate the need for Adderall. Because Adderall is a heavy-duty stimulant. Um, I've treated ADHD um, and memory and thought clarity issues for a long time. Um, so Rosa, that's you should send me a message, a DM message on Substack, and I can give you some herbal guidance for that, and it is helpful, um, and um, it will help you get along. Really, what I need to do is an herbal guidance live to do a live session where literally we just talk out all of the, oh, Wendy, I have this problem and this problem. What do I do? Um, and I can tell you. I will tell everyone that the my herbalist posts, um, people ask this very commonly. The paywall basically covers up the the paywall basically covers up um, the tincture and other. Oh yeah, here, Drawn. Give me just a second. I'll give that to you. Um, Here you go. Um, so those are like those three mixed together. But Drawn, send me a DM, and before you go treating with it, there's a couple of questions I need to ask you first. But I'm not going to ask that in a live session. Um, so the herbalist paywall stuff, the thing that the paywall covers up in all the herbal posts is literally, this is how you make the tincture, this is how you make the tea mixture, and this is how you incorporate it into cooking or whatever else. And then the other thing that the paywall covers up is the effect and pharmacology. So uh, because herbalism is an activity um, that I engage in semi-professionally, that's one of the reasons why I paywall the herbal posts. But I am going to put the herbal posts into written form and sell it. And so this is where I tell everybody, if you're a monthly sub, I will give you a 30 to 35% discount on all the books that I publish. If you're a yearly sub, I'll give you a 40% discount. And then if you're a founding sub, of which I only have two of those, the first book you get is free. And then I will give you 35% discounts on every book thereafter. Um, People ask that, am I going to write stuff? Am I actually going to put stuff into binding? And oh God, yeah, of course. Everyone has. Um, uh, uh, um, Culpepper's complete manual is actually in my library. Um, the problem with Culpepper is that he's really, really old, and a lot of the stuff that he, um, a lot of the, there were assumptions that Culpepper made. I probably need to do an article about this. Um, you know, so a lot of the stuff that was in the English uh, physician made assumptions that aren't necessarily true. But then, Culpeper was basically, um, that was 1620, 1630. He his his assumptions about burdock and bed straw were actually pretty spot on. But his assumptions about fleabane and mugwort um, were a little off. I don't discredit Culpepper's work. It's just and his wood betony assumption and pennyroyal assumptions were a little. There's other herbals that have, like for pennyroyal, um, it assists with the vertigo. There's other herbals that achieve that a little bit better than pennyroyal does. Same with hellebore. Hellebore is supposed to um, stop sneezing if you grind it up and then You know, yeah, cocaine line it. Yeah. Well, but see, ginger, the effects, overall effects of ginger are um, long-standing at issue. Um, that's stuff that's never ever going to change. Um, like from an herbal analysis, for instance, um, people in India don't have inflammation problems, and there's a reason for this. A major body of the Indian diet uh, that happens over time involves copious amounts of turmeric. Uh, Turmeric, much like chamomile, um, and much like ginseng and others, is a natural source of anti-inflammatory. And so, yeah, curry made with turmeric and garlic and chamomile, those are all like the strongest anti-inflammatories that you can get. The only other anti-inflammatory that you can use, um, so I'm gonna have to give another one away. Willow bark, white willow bark. Cyacilicin is the active pharmaceutical ingredient in aspirin. That's actually made from willow bark extract. So literally, you can take willow bark extract either in a tincture or in an herbal, like a capsulated form, and you can literally replace taking NSAIDs by using it instead. And here's the thing about willow bark. Willow bark doesn't have the things in it that aspirin has in it that upset your stomach, so you can actually take it without making your stomach sour. And it doesn't have the buildup effects that non-steroidal anti-inflammatories have if you use them over and over and over again, because willow bark is just water soluble. After 24 hours, it leaves your body and it's done. Um, but you can all effectively replace aspirin with willow bark entirely, and then never touch aspirin ever again. Um, and that actually works. Honestly, a high grade tincture dose of chamomile mixed with a willow bark dose has enough anti-inflammatory punch in it to kill a migraine. I'm a migraine sufferer. I know this, and so this is why I know these things. So let me just ask, like Hearts, if I did a live session where literally all we did is talk about herbal shit, would everybody like that? Would everybody find benefit in that? Feverfew. I wrote an article about feverfew. Go look in the Druid Path on the Thistle and Moss.com domain. It's in there. Um, I think I've covered. You know what? I'm just gonna look um, how many I've covered in the. It, it's I've easily hit 100. Have to be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Yeah, I've easily written about 100 herbals, if not more. Um, and I have, so my Druid Tome 4 is about this thick. And that was the tome that I studied out for my Druid Priestess uh, certifying path. My intention is to publish the entirety of the herbal section of that tome, which is about that much. And so before it's all said and done, I'll have published 300 or 400 articles about herbals independently. So if you want me to do a live session about herbals purely, I can do that on a weekend. Um, I can do that on a weekend, and we can talk through all of those. Um, and I can provide some health guidance. Um, I am trying to build up that aspect of my business, but I'm also happy to share with people who are in need of healing, uh, because I'm a druid healer at heart, and I will always be a druid healer at heart. And so I want people to not be in pain or suffering or whatever. So if there's an interest in that, then yeah, let's do it. I'll set up a live here in the next 7 or 8 days, and we can just literally all agree to sit down and talk through how to treat things herbally and how to go about dealing with them. So I am going to have to term the live though, because I need to eat my now somewhat cold panda. Does anybody have any parting questions or concerns? Um, I would ask that everybody share with your friends the domain, or maybe tell people about Wendy, because Wendy loves to get. I love for my stuff to reach people that has a positive effect. So, um, yeah, get the word out. If you're not going to become a paid sub, yeah, just get the word out. Because the more word that gets out, then the more people I can help, and the more people I can heal, and that makes me happy. Oh, hi Pam. We're about to actually term the live, so you. Um, oh no, of course, Treader. I'm happy to do so. I'm very happy to do so. Like I said, I'm a healer, and so at the core, whether that's emotionally, physically, mentally, I want to heal people, and I want people to um, benefit from my knowledge in a positive way, that would be beneficial for them in the future. And so that's why I do everything that I do. So, okay, well, if nobody has anything, um, by the way, I am going to regularly post uh, these lives into um, hard video sessions. So if you just join the live, give me 24 hours. The This live will be posted so that you can read through it and hear through it and pick up all the pertinent information that you need to pick on or pick up. Okay. Well, thank you, everybody, yet again. So maybe tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm here, and if anybody has any questions, please feel free to send me a DM. Um, I'm on Signal. If anybody's on Signal, I can very easily be found there. I'm on Reddit. I'm on Blue Sky. Find me in one of those places and send me a message. But otherwise, thank you, everyone.